Myself is Vaibhav, and I welcome you to this podcast. There is always a solution. This is going to be the first episode of the podcast. I'm very happy to share this podcast with you and the episode with you. I'll be taking a lot of questions during this podcast in different episodes, and will be answering them according to my own perspective, my understanding of spirituality from the yogi point of view. As this whole show is about the perspective, I want to start this episode with a small story from Vedas on in perspective, where it's a story about an elephant and few blind men. So these men come and stand around the elephant, and they start touching the elephant because they could not see. They touch and feel the elephant, and according to what they touch, they describe. So one person touches the legs of the elephant and describes it as a strong pillar or strong pillars, and another blind man touches tail of the elephant and says as a rope. Another man touches as the trunk and says as a thick snake, and one blind man touches the ears of the elephant and says as a big fan. And what they're describing is according to their own perspective and their experiences. They could not see, and what they're saying is according to them is correct, but it's not the correct picture. And this is what happens to us, and what we can understand from this story is our experiences are limited, and our perception is very limited because of our experiences. And when we get a different point of view from other people's perspective and point of view, we are able to expand our own perspective, and will be able to have different experiences in life. So with this understanding, let's begin our episode first with question. So I'm having these questions, which I'm not going to share the name who sent me these questions, because this is what we want to keep it as not public about who's sending these questions. But these questions are helpful to answer, to get answer for everybody. You may have these questions in your mind, but you never got to ask. So this person has took the effort to ask the question. And the first question what we have is, how do you move on from someone you loved so deeply? A very good question. The question again, I'm going to repeat. How do you move on from someone you loved so deeply? You know, it's definitely not easy to move on when you have love involved with someone. But this one aspect, everyone should be learning, regardless to what age they are in. They must learn to move on in life. For me, I think for moving on in life, two things are very important. One is to have a great understanding. Once we have a great understanding, we'll be able to move very well in life. And when we're having the understanding, the two questions are very important for us to ask to have a better understanding. One, why do you want to move on? Right? And the second question is, from whom are you moving on? So we're going to tackle the first question first. Why do you want to move on? You want to move on because there is nothing left in a relationship. So again, when I'm saying that nothing left in a relationship, that doesn't mean generally a breakup. It could be any reason for the relationship not moving forward. Maybe the person is not available anymore, he's not alive, or he's gone, or he or her gone to a different relationship, moved on out of the country, from the city, whatever it could be. So when you're saying that you're moving on because the relationship cannot go forward, and it could be any reason. There is no trust. There is, uh, you know, it could be anything. So when we're doing that, we need to understand that, you know, to run a relationship, or for a relationship to be successful, two people are required. And in any of the scenarios, if one person is not there, alone you cannot run the relationship, cannot move the relationship, cannot flourish the relationship. For that, you need to move on. And what it gives me understanding that how I tackle this as, make yourself more important. When we find difficult to move on in life is when we make the relationship or other person more important, and we find that we are not able to move on because they are our focus. we need to understand, in my life, in your life, you should be your focus. Every other person, every other thing, object is an extension of you. That's where you need to practice self awareness. You need to give importance to yourself, to find ways to give yourself so much importance. Spend enough time with yourself that you don't need anybody's company. Then everybody's company become the extension of you, not the reason of you. So that is one thing, that why we are moving on, because the person is not available, and who's available is you. So build a relationship with you, and you'll never be able, you never need to move on from you ever in life. Till you are here, you're going to be with you. So that is the one thing we need to understand, that build a relationship with yourself and let yourself understand that this relationship is not going anywhere. And I want to add one story or one idea behind it, ideology of, you know, train track. The train runs on two tracks, and if one track goes off, the train will collapse. So same thing in a relationship. A relationship is a train which can run two tracks with other two people. If any of the person is not available, the train will collapse, a relationship will collapse. So if you are not finding the track, it's okay. Let it move on, because you'll be able to find another track, another person who can help you to flourish a relationship with them. The second thing what we need to understand, that whom are we moving on from? So what my understanding says, that we are not actually moving on from the person. You are already moved on. When the person is gone, or person cheated, or person is not available, mentally you're already moved on. What you have to move on is from the expectation of having the person back, expectation of having your control over the person, having the expectation of having somebody around you for a relationship. So that expectation creates this, I'm not able to move on. That is what the problem for most of the people, the expectation, either from themselves, they put themselves in a guilt zone and they put themselves down, or they expect the other person to come back, or they don't find, they feel they're not able to move on just because of the expectation that uh, is going to come back, they're going to come back. And most of the cases, once somebody is moved on, one is not there, it's not there. Example is, once the thread is broken, no matter how many knots you tie to it, there's always that knot going to be a hindrance in the smoothness of the thread. So even if the person comes back, the relationship will not be going to be the same. So let yourself detach from the expectation you have from the relationship, from the person, or from your own self. No need to feel guilty about it. Have a better understanding, because once you let go of this, once you move on from this relationship, you'll find many more relationships in front of you who are ready to help you to grow more, help you to fall in love more. For that, you need to get rid of this thought, and you need to move on from a relationship which you were deeply in love once. So there are a few techniques to do that. Like I said, one is better understanding of why we're moving on, whom we are moving on from. And the other thing is, there are practical ways of doing it. What you can do is write on a piece of paper. Actually, write. When you're writing, you're expressing yourself. So I'm not going to say use your phone. Write on a piece of paper. From today, I'm letting myself free from this relationship. From today, I'm moving on from all the expectation I have from this relationship. From today, I'm letting the person free from my memory, from my expectations. From today, I'm open to explore more my life and more relationship in this life. And after doing that, go outside, take a lighter, and burn this paper. You're burning this paper. Don't just stare at it, don't just keep it with you. Burn it with this understanding that I'm burning my wisdom, my understanding, and giving this, my past experience, my relationship, which is now almost over, or already over, or is going to be over, to the knowledge of fire. And I'm letting myself free from this experience or the memory from this particular relationship. And after that, you'll notice you'll be in a very much better state mentally, and you'll be able to move on very easily. Yes, while doing that, you may have some, thoughts coming back of this relationship. So remind yourself that this is not the emotion or the pain coming. It is just the memory, because the memory is not going to be erased. It is just the memory, the thought coming, but there is no attachment to the thought. So you'll be able to live freely, and you'll be able to enjoy your life, and you'll be able to find new relationships in life. And before we finish, remember, build relationship with yourself first, and then every other relationship will be extension of you, and you'll never have a problem when someone comes in your relationship or someone goes out. You will just be in a very very great state all in life. So, uh, I assume that I've given some kind of insight to you. This is may not work completely for you, but it'll give you some kind of thought process to start working and find your own solution. My point of view is my point of view. This is how I deal with the life, how I would deal with the situation. Now, with my perspective, it gives you some another idea. Please use it. The idea is to be free from the burden that we carry in our life. Whichever way helps, use it and make yourself free so that you can enjoy your life to the fullest. All right. Now we're going to move on to the next question. All right. So the next question is, what's the best way to clear your mind when you have so many thoughts in your mind, in your head? I'm going to repeat again. What's the best way to clear your mind when you have so many thoughts in your mind, in your head? All right. So, when there are so many thoughts in your mind and you're noticing them, for me, it's a great thing. I'm happy that you're aware that you can notice so many thoughts in the mind. And what gives me this understanding that you have gathered so much information in your mind, now, which is just creating mess or running here and there in your mind. So, first thing what we need to do is stop gathering more information, which means stop gathering unnecessary information from social media, from news, from gossips. You need to stop doing that. That is very, very helpful for you. More you keep gathering information, more is going to get cluttered in your mind, and you're not going to feel or able to use your mind to the full potential. So, first thing first is make sure that you're not gathering any more unnecessary information which is not useful for you. Second thing, what you have to do is meditation. You have to meditate. The best way to improve the mind's capacity or remove the clutter of the mind is meditation. Whatever kind of meditation you do, you need to practice meditation. And what does meditation do? And like a lot of people say that when I'm sitting for meditation, in fact, more thoughts are coming. So when I say, when how I see this, that when you're sitting in a meditation, you're noticing thoughts, they're not actually coming to you. These information is going out, and you're just watching them going out. Now you don't know the difference between my thought going in or thought going out. That is why you get confused. But when you're sitting for meditation, one, you're allowing these thoughts to come out from the deep inside to the surface, and eventually they're going to burst out like a bubble. How it happens, a soda bottle or a Coke bottle, when the bubble comes out, it just gets bursted and gets, get out of the system from from the bottle, from the drink. So same thing, when you're sitting for meditation, these thoughts are coming, and when you're not reacting to them, when you're not catching holding all the thoughts, they're just going to get out of the system and you'll be free from them. The second thing what happens when you're doing meditation is actually you're organizing these thoughts. Mind is very powerful, mind is very very capable to do that. So you sit down, you meditate, now automatically these thoughts are going to the areas they belong. So I see that mind is a library. In one side, you have all the books stacked for relationship. One side is memory, past, bad experiences, good experiences. All of these are there in the brain, this library. So when you sit for meditation, naturally your thoughts starts to go to these areas where they belong. So if a thought of a friend, it should be going on a relationship, it'll go on a relationship. aisle. Or if it's a bad experience, it has to go on a bad experience aisle, it go on the bad experience life. So mind will automatically organize these thoughts. It'll declutter your mind, and you will feel that you will be able to have a better clarity, and you can pick and choose what thought you want. Right now everything is so cluttered that you don't know which thought you want to pick. Which you want to pick one thought and the other thought comes in, because it's everything is entangled. So when you meditate, you remove that entanglement and you resolve it. Allow these thoughts to go into the correct aisle, organize them, and that helps you to feel and think clearly without getting disturbed or distracted with your thoughts. Again, coming to the point, meditation. One simple meditation, one technique you can do is you sit with your eyes closed. Now let the thoughts come. Now visualize on the right side, on the right hand side of you is a blue basket. On the left side of you is a red basket. And in the center is the white basket. So right is blue, left is red, and the center is white. Now, any thought that comes about future, you're going to put it on the right side basket. Any thought comes about past, you're going to put it on the left basket. And every thought, every attention is about the present moment, you're going to bring attention, you put it in the white basket. Do this practice for some time. And without feeling any guilt, without feeling any disturbance, just do that. 5 minutes, sit down. Any thought is coming, you're not tackling, you're not figuring it out, you're not resolving it, you're just putting them according to the basket they're supposed to go. So, right side, the blue basket, is the thoughts of future. The left basket is red basket, all about the past. And the center is the white, all about the present. Just offer them, and you see how quickly you'll be able to find ways to clear your mind. Just by thinking, I want to clear my mind, is not going to happen. You need to do a practical experience, the meditation, which is a very, very powerful thing, and need to have a better understanding and stop gathering more information. Try this and let me know how it works. It worked for me, it worked for many people. I've taught this, and it is going to be very, very helpful. So try it and see where it goes and where it takes you. And I wish that you will find a place, a way to keep your mind clear, keep your mind sane, and keep your mind at the right direction. Thank you. We're going to take one more question. This question is again very good one. I have to manage multiple things and don't get time for myself. What can I do? I have to manage multiple things in life in a day and don't get time for myself. What can I do? To me, how I see this question, I know a lot of people come and tell me that, I don't have time for myself. I have to do this, I have to do that, take care of my family, take care of the kids, XYZ. And to me, the answer is one. You don't have time for yourself because you have not made yourself your priority. You have made everything your priority: your job, your studies, your family, your sleep, your food, everything, but you have not made yourself your priority. You are somewhere at the back of your head, and that is why person who's at the last line is always suffering, lacking behind. You need to bring that person in front. You need to make yourself your priority, because without you, nothing exists. Your work, your family, your relationship, your mind, anything you want to call it, it does not exist if you don't exist. Make yourself your priority. And it is very, very powerful, because the moment you become your priority, the moment you start understanding yourself, start knowing yourself, you don't need validation from anybody. Right now, why are you doing so much? Because you want to prove yourself. You are a better husband or better wife. You are a better son or better daughter, better friend, better parent. You're great at your job. You're great at whatever you do. You're just trying to prove yourself. And why are you trying to prove yourself? Because you are missing. in your own life. And you're getting to prove yourself, to find validation from other people that you are good enough or you can do XYZ stuff well. And that is not going to help you. You're always going to be lacking behind. You're always going to find that there is no time for you. So there's only one way to find time for yourself is by making yourself your priority. You should be important in your life. That doesn't mean you neglect everybody. Once you're important in your life, if you once you're in a good state, automatically, naturally you start to take good care of everything around you, whether it's physical or material. You will be able to take a good care of every single thing. So starting from today, you need to make yourself priority. And how? It takes time. It's not going to happen like from tomorrow morning you'll say I am my priority. Unconsciously you're not into this state of awareness. You need to keep working, keep reminding yourself every time, keep doing this for yourself until it becomes natural to you. There is a great way to, great technique for you to bring awareness to yourself and notice how important you are, and every other thing you're doing is secondary. Is breathe in, hold your breath for more than what you can. Try 30 seconds, 40 seconds, one where you start to feel choked. And when you almost like there is no other option but to breathe, take that breath. That itself will give you a good understanding that how important your breath, your life is for you. So, starting from this moment, starting from today, if you really want to enjoy everything you do, make yourself your priority. Don't keep yourself in the last seat, bring yourself in the driver's seat, and everything can go back. And from there, you will see your journey will be a very good one, a fruitful one. And then everything you do from there, from then onwards, it's going to be fantastic. You'll be thankful for yourself, you'll be thankful for your life, and you'll be grateful for this opportunity, the life which we all get. We all got. So, this is what I would deal with these questions. This is how I would deal with these questions. And again, this is my perspective. This is how I take life. This is how I work. And this is what I've realized that when it comes to letting go of relationship, again, I'm very important. If I'm important, then I'm aware that every other relationship is an extension and I'm able to let go of the relationship if that is what the nature requires me to do. And I will allow myself to be free from it. I need to have better understanding of myself. Then we need to find ways to keep my mind decluttered by practicing, gathering less information, unnecessary information. And the last one is to find time for yourself, make yourself a priority. I wish, I hope that it'll give you some kind of insight, it'll give you some kind of direction, some kind of opportunity to find your own solution for these questions. Thank you for asking these questions. And I wish, and I'm aiming to get more questions from more people, and I'll be able to share these questions and answer them with my own perspective. If you like them, please share, please subscribe to my channel, to my podcast, and you can submit your questions on my Instagram handle, which is Vaibhav Parashar 19. You can share that on there's a form, you can fill the form. You will not have to put your name, so that will be easy for you. You can also watch this episode on YouTube. You can hear it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. So there are a lot of ways to reach out to people, and please listen to it. Please share it. Please follow me and help me to reach more and more people. And if you don't like my point of view, I would love to hear your point of view because it's all about learning, opening the perception, and gaining some more insight towards life, towards the spirituality, towards being as we are. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, 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 wonderful life ahead. Om Shanti.